Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So we're back again with another Alliance War video. This is season 21 War 5. We're up against Matrix. We did face them the last season as well. We did manage to win that war, but this season in particular has been quite a horrible start for us. We started the first week with a 1-2 record. We lost our first two wars of the season, and then we got 2 wins, but now it's gonna determine how we carry on, I suppose. It's quite clear that we're not making top 3 this season, unlike the last season, so our objective will quite simply be to place in Masters bracket. But for now, we can see that I start out on path 1 in section 1, and this is Tigra on Vigorous Assault and Vigor Node, so she starts the fight unblockable, and that is kind of like the main thing to keep in mind, that if she has regen active, she will be unblockable. But with Dr. Doom, there's very little to no trouble, so I basically get to my level 3, and after my level 3, there wasn't much left of her to clean up. Next, we're going to be moving on to Electro, and this is going to be a Quake fight, so if you don't like watching Quake fights, then cover your eyes, cover your ears. I'm not going to have too many Quake fights, I think. I'll have a few, but not too many. But yeah, either way, the Void on the team here is just in case I do have to help or take the boss down, and yeah, all the rest of the fights are going to be in between Quake and Doom. So this Electro does have Masochism node active on him, but it really isn't too big of an issue so long as you are actively keeping a track and realizing that your stun could get shrugged off if you're not charging heavy attack at the same exact time. Other than that, only thing that you need to worry about is out damaging that regen he's getting from Masochism, but Quake obviously is perfectly capable of doing that. Electro's health pool isn't like the largest one either, so even with Masochism heal, we can see that the fight is only just about to reach 1 minute mark, and it's also pretty much over exactly at 1 minute mark. So yeah, it's not a tricky fight at all, nothing too special over there. I could have taken that Captain Marvel movie, but I was just out of energy, and then by the time I checked in the game, she was already down, so that's all fair enough. It would have been a very simple, very quick, straightforward fight with Dr. Doom, because obviously he does energy damage, he's Mystic Champion, she would absolutely melt down. Now this fight, I wasn't exactly scheduled to take, but I figured since I had to get all of my fights done, and I knew that Quake can pretty much do it. I knew that it is slightly RNG based on what kind of prompts he gets, and if I trigger too many of those, then that would also let him drop a special attack, which would trigger EMP modification, which should get tricky. But for most part, I was still quite confident. There's nothing, statistically speaking, too much to worry about. The fight can go wrong, but it's just one of those things where I knew I can do it, so I didn't feel bad about jumping in and doing the fight. And obviously Quake has class advantage and all that other good stuff, and we're going to see him actually reach a bar of power towards the very end of the fight. And at that point, it does get a bit tricky, and he does land a combo on me, but the concussions kick in, and I was going to go in and drop a full combo on him with Quake as well, so that could deliver enough damage. Unfortunately, obviously, I did lose some health, which is kind of annoying. Now, this Heimdall fight is actually going to be quite messy, and I'm just going to get carried away. I'm going to flat out say I played that Heimdall fight bad, but as I have said multiple times before, with rank 3 Dr. Doom, you actually have to try pretty hard to die in war, especially if you're boosted appropriately and if you're not taking very kind of like bad matchups. If you use Doom against Human Torch, obviously you can die, but against any favorable matchup for Dr. Doom, it's really not that easy to die with Dr. Doom. And yeah, so here I'm just going to get carried away at smacking my heavy attacks, because I did get slightly confused by those power things, power suppression, and I knew that I could easily bypass this node with Dr. Doom should I choose to actually drop a special attack, slow the fight down a bit, and everything would have been fine. And still, I just kind of like got into this rhythm, routine, whatever, that I actually whiffed a heavy attack and got hit. But you can see that thanks to all that armor, thanks to crit resistance, and also partially due to the fact that Heimdall is a bit of a noodle hand, I barely lost any health at all whatsoever. But I do push him to nearly 3 bars of power. Obviously, you don't want Heimdall to drop a level 3 pretty much ever. Sorry, level 2. So I was trying to rush in and kill him, but he's at 3% and he drops a level 3 on me. Just kind of silly, a bit embarrassing and somewhat annoying. But you can see that it doesn't really sting that hard, and straight after the level 3 and just took care of the rest of the fight. And now we do have this Mysterio. I'm actually going to end up taking him linked, because in Alliance War these links, they don't add extra health and attack anymore, they only add extra node. An extra node that Mysterio is going to be getting is 200% recovery, so he regens significantly more HP than he would without it. And he has buffet on it, which for many other champions would be tricky to deal with, but obviously Quake don't really plan on triggering that buffet even a single time, and by extension that recovery node doesn't really do anything, not much enough to change the fight anyways. And yeah, I'm just gonna heavy parry this fight, doing it just to avoid triggering buffet altogether, just so I don't get that precision buff on me, just so he doesn't get to heal at all, because he would heal a significant amount of health. And again, it's very quick, very simple Quake fight, nothing too fancy, just parry and heavy, parry and heavy, and that is all she wrote. It's over in a minute once again. And I do have one more fight in this war that's coming slightly later, and that is a mini boss. Which mini boss this was? This was Hurt Locker mini boss, I believe. And we did have the war was coming towards the end. Unfortunately, it did look like we will in fact lose this war, which we did. We got spanked again. We're really not having the best season thus far. Never mind, it's not the Hurt Locker, it's the Vision Arcus one. But Dr. Doom absolutely pretty much melts all of the Vision Arcuses, and it's a very simple and straightforward fight. But as I was starting to say, that unfortunately we did lose this war against Matrix. So they did get their revenge on us. They seem to be having a very good season. Unlike ASR, we have not had the best season by any stretch of the means. And that's quite unfortunate. We're actually currently on negative record. We have lost 3 wars and we have won 2. So we're really, really not doing well this season. Hopefully we can turn it around, finish relatively stable, somewhere in the middle of Masters, and then come back meaner and better and more disciplined and more careful for season 22. But obviously I will still keep uploading all of these Alliance War videos. I do hope you guys have enjoyed this war video in particular. If you have, then please do hit that like button. Please comment, share, do all that good stuff. And yeah, that is it for this war. Again, unfortunately we did lose. See ya.